9421 and SB 1554751, to whom the dear Judge Sean B. Perkins, and to whom it may concern, the burden of truth is on me, or then it will just be my word against others' words. I, Clyde Darrell Lynch, always traveling, Supreme Court rulings on travel, along with being put in ransom for illegal profit gains against my federal freedoms / liberties and / or etc., as it is proven below, and an unnecessary burden of cash out of my pocket, etc. For what? Question mark. I do not have gold or silver to pay this debt and / or a promissory note. Driver, one employee in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle with horses, mules, or other animals. Driving, I know everybody's looking at me like, what are you saying? Driving, operating in commerce, hire / profit. Mulberry versus Madison, 1803 case. They weren't even cars on the road. All laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what the court is talking about right here. I figured he was going to bring this up because all Mr. Lynch did was he went on the Google search and searched, basically, I don't know exactly the terminology, but he put driving, don't need to drive without a license. And all of these same cases come up. And this one case really bothers me because that's why I asked Mr. Lynch, did he read the cases? Are you familiar with your Black history, Mr. Lynch?
Okay, is the paper that you're reading is the one that's saying titled Supreme Court ruling and U.S. Constitution?
Yes.
Okay, that's not updated, but the other ones I sent, those are the ones that's relevant. The one that say Law Depot, it's like 6 pages, but the last 3 is the affidavit and the FOIA paper. You already seen that for the dash cam, etc. But the Law Depot, the first 3 pages is just the website information telling you how to do it. I actually went to school for criminal justice and private investigator, but I didn't finish because I got kicked out for no necessary reason. I've been fighting that ever since. But I actually went to school for business management and law, but I didn't finish. So
I see.
So technically, but I went to a Morris facility and learned the Constitution and everything. So that's put all that together.
Break it down. What I asked you was, you provide me documentation to show proof that the Supreme Court says that you don't need a driver's license to drive a vehicle, right?
Your Honor.
I'm asking you a yes or no question.
Okay, all I want to say, that Supreme Court paper, you can forget about that. That Law Depot paper is what I've been working on, and I'm still trying to figure out how to go through the court cases all the way to the Supreme Court. So I'm studying and learning how to do that, to do this, to take care of Dearborn, because Dearborn is the one that got me in limbo right now.
But what I'm saying is, I don't need to see any Law Depot. I don't see any Law Depot. I asked you a question earlier. I said, I hope that you're bringing these, the stuff that you're, wait a minute. I asked you a question and I said, I hope that you're sending me these papers and these cases and in support of you not having to drive with a license. And I hope that you've read the cases that you're using in support of what your belief of the law is and the Constitution and stuff. And I get this, and I've done it. You're not the first person that's done it. And the reason why I ask you, are you familiar with your African-American history, particularly the civil rights movement, is because you have submitted a case, Shuttlesworth versus the city of Birmingham. And you submitted this case in support of you not having to drive with a license. And it's kind of like throwing mud in Reverend Shuttlesworth's case, because Mr. Shuttlesworth, I'm sure he was a reverend. I'm sure that Mr. Shuttlesworth had a valid license and doesn't believe what you're trying to use this case law for. I wish you would have taken time to read what Reverend Shuttlesworth had to go through on this day, on April 12th, 1963, when he's trying to fight for our civil rights.
So much better, like single.
Because I think if you would have read it, you would have seen that most of what you have put in here and all the cases that you have put in here are complete. A Shuttlesworth has nothing to do with what you're talking about. And the other case.
I understand that like I stated, Your Honor, that paper is not updated. Right there, I supposed to took that out. That the Shuttleworth and through the Alabama. No, not Alabama. I supposed to have taken that out.
You're supposed to take all this stuff out because none of this stuff has anything to do with what you're talking about. None of it.
You read
actually, some of the cases are directly opposite, and they state that you have to have a ballot. One with the wagon and the coach. What was that guy? He's in 1903. I forget the case. He's driving a coach. He's got a car in 1903. He's got a car in 1903. He had big money. And he's driving his car up this dirt road and he's speeding. And they give him a ticket. And they say not that he doesn't have not to have a license. They just wanted to automatically revoke his license because he had a license without a hearing. And he's saying, you can't do that. I have to have a hearing before you're able to take my license from me. So he's not even saying what you say he's saying. So this stuff is
in Birmingham. I supposed to have took that out. Like I stated, I haven't updated that.
Well, you know something. I wish you would read this stuff before you even put it in this document, because that's what you're supposed to do. I can hold you in contempt for filing filing this irrelevant stuff.
Do you get the law depot document 3?
I got the law depot document.
Okay, but basically that sums it up right there. That, like I said, that's not even updated paperwork. I sent that by mistake. That's why I sent the FRA paper. But that right there, I'm supposed to update that. But the law depot 3 document is 6 pages. The first 3 just tell you how to do the affidavit, which I forgot to do, but that refers.
I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody that's coming here with this, they didn't win. I'm gonna say that first, right? And then some of the people agreed me and went to the Judicial Tenure Commission on me, and they quoted the same stuff, and guess what happened? They didn't win either. This stuff is nonsense. Stuff is nonsense. I'm waiting for you to tell me which court case applies, because you have Shuttlesworth in here, and that absolutely doesn't apply. So what you're saying, I would like to just one court case, just show me one out of all this stuff that you've given me, one court case that you said applies.
Well, like I stated, Your Honor, that little paper always get people upset. That I send that one, but it hasn't been updated.
But you shouldn't send stuff that hasn't been updated to the court. But I'm just asking you one case. Tell me one case out of the stuff that you sent me that says it applies to you and your position of you not having have to have a driver's license.
The Law Depot document 3, that's what I send in.
I know, and you're saying, I'm asking you out of this Law Depot document 3, you have Howlett versus Rose, Boyd versus the United States, Murdoch versus Penn, Owens versus Independence, People versus Bottle Traffic. You have another, constitutional articles. Tell me one of these cases that applies to your position that you don't have to have a valid driver's license to drive on the road. Howlett versus Rose. Federal Supreme Court case applied to state court cases. My traveling documents, Supreme Court rulings, and the United States Constitution of travel is in this attachment and others not included have been stolen, sold, or to duly shared. I don't know. Let's go with Howlett versus Rose. Let's see what that says. I got a few more minutes before I have to send everybody to lunch. I just want to know. I just want you to see how ridiculous this sounds. Let's go to the Law Depot document.
Yeah, if I may speak, you want procedurally?
You have to speak up loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Procedurally, do you want to give him a court-appointed attorney? And will you come back?
You know something, I don't want to waste the resources on the court because Mr. Lynch is probably going to present this to the court-appointed attorney. I can ask him whether he wants to, but if he presents this stuff to the court-appointed attorney, then they're probably going to come down on the same.
I can go into court records and find cases where the case was dismissed with the same issues I'm in. I will find a case and I will present it to you.
And he did indicate he was having a problem retaining counsel because they wouldn't accept his paperwork. So
Yeah, I see why. Howlett versus Rose. Rose was a case in which high school students sued the school board after his car was searched on school grounds and he was suspended from school. He sued under 42 USC 1983, suspended without due process.